Hi, superstars. It is time for English, and we are on Unit 2, Week 1. So I want you to get out your reading books here and make sure it's Unit 2. So when we hold our books, we always hold our books upright. Now, this is the front cover. And I always make sure that my book isn't upside down so that I can read the words. When we turn the pages, we always turn them one at a time. And when I turn each page, I stop to read the words on it. And I always read the left side first. So we are going to read a story and it is called We Can See. So I want you to open this up to page 14. We are on page 14. The title of this story is We Can See. So you should recognize some of those words. Those are some sight words that you've been studying if you've been in the Zoom classes. So these are going to be some spelling words that you should know how to spell. All right, before we read this story, I want to remind you that a sentence is made up of a group of words. So when I read a sentence, my eyes always read the words from left to right, just like we did when we read that title. So we always start from left to right. We can see. Now, always point to each word as you're reading. And I want you to repeat as I'm reading. I want you to read with me, or you can repeat after I read. And I want you to also try to describe the photograph. You're going to use the photographs and the title to figure out what this might be about. So what do you think this story is going to be about? What do you see in that picture? Well, I see two young students here, and I see an animal over here, right? And this might be a teacher of some kind. And it says, we can see. So what do you think it's about? All right. Well, we're going to read so that we can find out. Now, let's start on page 15. I want you to look for a high frequency word in there. A. Can you find the high frequency word? It's right here. That is the high frequency word A. And I want you to look at the word map. So the first sound in that word is mm. And the last letter in map is p, p. So we blend the sounds and we read map. So try to blend those sounds when you're trying to read, okay? Okay, so we're gonna start reading, and I want you to look at page 15, which is right here, and I want you to tell me what you see in this picture. What is this? Remember, the photographs gives us clue to what the story's about. Did you think it was a map of some kind? It is. It's the map of a zoo. All right, let's read together. We can see a map. Let's read it again. We can see a map. Very good. We start at the left and we read to the right. All right, let's turn our page. Okay, we are on page 16. All right, I want you to look at this. This is a rebus. So there is a picture that is standing for a word. They write the word with the picture. It's called a rebus. It's helping you to decipher what that word is. Okay, let's read this together. We can see a parrot. Let's read it again. We can see a parrot. Now we're on page 17. We can see a, all right, let's look at the rebus. It's giving us a clue. Seal. Let's read it again together. We can see a seal. So, what are we looking at on page 17? A seal. Good job. Let's turn our page. We are on page 18. Let's read together. We can see a panda. The rebus is showing a picture of a panda and it has the word panda. Let's read it again. We can see a panda. So when we're reading, we want to always read fluidly. We don't want to stop until the end of the sentence. Do you see the period here? So when there's a period, that means to pause, take a break. So we stop when we see that period. Let's try it. We can see a panda. And then we stop. We don't stop in the middle of our sentence. We always keep going until the end. So on this page, what are we looking at? A panda. Let's go to page 19. There are two rebus. 1, 2. Those are giving us clues to what the words are. Let's read together. Can the panda see the parrot? And we have a question mark at the end of this sentence because this is a question. This is asking a question. Let's read it again. Can the panda see the parrot? So what is the panda looking at? A parrot. So the panda can see the parrot. So we would say, yes, the panda can see the parrot. Good job, superstars. I want you to practice reading. So I want you to read this until you can read it with no trouble. Now, let's look at this picture here. So, when I read this story, I was thinking about the children exploring the zoo. So, it looks like they use their hands to touch the koala. See how they're touching that koala? And it looks like they use their eyes to see the other animals. So we're talking about tools and how tools help us to explore. So the tools we have help us to explore. Our hands are tools, our eyes are tools, and that's what these children used to explore the zoo. So we use tools to help us explore. All right, good job, superstars. I want you to continue reading that story. Let's turn to page 20 in your reading, writing workshop. So let's read how Logan responded to a prompt. So this is talking about the story Pam can see. So it's right about the text. So here's Logan, and he says, I answered the question, how is the register a handy tool for Sam? So we want to see how Logan responded to a prompt. And the prompt is, how is the register a handy tool for Sam? First, we need to understand that question. So the prompt is asking what the register does for Sam. So you need to use text evidence for your response. So let's go back and look at this story about Pam can see so we can get some clues, okay? Here's Sam the giraffe, and we can see his name right here. We're on page 13. So remember the prompt. The prompt asked, how is the register a handy tool for Sam? So here's a register. Remember the story. We went over the story. You can reread the story if you need to, but we want to know how this register is helping Sam the giraffe, right? So what is he using the register for at the store? Let's go back and look and see what Logan wrote. Okay, so here is Sam, and Sam is using this tool called a register. So the prompt asked, how is the register a handy tool for Sam? Well, this little boy, Logan, he used notes about the text to find out how the register helps Sam. And he also used the picture to make a reference about the register and things that weren't stated in the text. So he just looked at the picture to understand what Sam was using this register for. So he wrote, this tool helps Sam work. So here's some clues. He says, I use the picture to understand how the register helps Sam. So by looking at the picture, you can figure out things, right? So he wrote, it adds Pam's things. So the register adds Pam's things, the things that Pam wanted to buy. So it's adding the things for Sam. Okay? Now, over here, these are details. This is Logan writing still. He says, I used evidence to tell why the register is a handy tool. We're talking about tools, and we're talking about how the register helped Sam. So what does this register do? It tells Pam what to pay. It added all of the things Pam was going to buy, and it tells Pam how much to pay. So let's look here. It says your turn. How is the shopping cart a handy tool for Pam and her mother? It says include text evidence. So you can do what Logan did here, and you can go back to the story and figure out how the shopping cart is a handy tool for Pam and her mother. You look at the picture and see what is it doing to help Pam and her mother. When you go shopping with your mom, do you use a shopping cart? All right, well, think of how it is a handy tool for you when you go shopping. What do we use a shopping cart for? We use a shopping cart to put things in. So it's a very handy tool. You can write about it on a piece of paper, just like Logan did. All right, let's look right here at the grammar. Grammar are parts of a story. They're parts of the, how do I say it? Grammar are parts of the sentences that we put together. So the word adds that we used over here to talk about the register is a verb. So adds is a verb. A verb is an action word. So it tells what something is doing. So adding is an action. So we call adding or adds right here, this part of the sentence, a verb because it's telling us what this tool is doing. It adds Pam's things. It is a verb. All right, superstars, you're doing a great job. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.